For many centuries, the galaxy had grown large, bright, and full of new civilizations. New species traveled confidently between stars, building peaceful alliances and teaching each other new methods of science, travel, and communication. In this growing and busy galaxy, humans were remembered only as a calm, quiet civilization that had once taken part in early exploration. But now, in the present age, humans were known mostly through museum displays, old records, and history lessons for young students. Their ships were called antique models. Their technology was described as simple but charming, and their culture was explained as a peaceful society that preferred to stay on their home world. Most younger species had never even seen a human in person. They believed humanity lived slowly, progressed slowly, and stayed inside their planet most of the time. To them, humans were quiet neighbors, unthreatening and almost invisible. Across the stars, people joked kindly that human starships belonged in art galleries, not in space. They believed humans had grown too relaxed to compete in modern exploration. The galaxy had moved forward quickly, but Earth had remained soft-spoken. Their stations were old, their ships few, and their technology outdated. Or so everyone thought. On the far edge of human territory floated an abandoned outer station called Observatory 12. It was a large metal structure, shaped like a ring with a domed roof, left behind from a time when humans explored more actively. Dust and silence covered its corridors. Machines slept in deep rest. Even the lights were dim, casting long shadows across metal floors. To the galaxy, this station was nothing special, just another reminder of humanity's past. One calm afternoon cycle, a small research craft belonging to the Vantel Alliance arrived near the station. The Vantel were a gentle species known for curiosity and science. Their bodies were tall and soft-colored, their voices musical, and their interest in old technology endless. They loved exploring forgotten places and recording old knowledge. Their team of 5 researchers floated out of their ship, wearing smooth silver suits. The leader, a thoughtful scientist named Rinhal, studied the quiet station through his visor. "It looks peaceful," he said softly, switching on the translation unit. "Almost like a living photograph." The team nodded. Their records said humans no longer used this station. Their goal was simple: explore it, document anything interesting, and send the information to their central academy. They entered through a side hatch. The air smelled old but breathable. Their boots touched the silent floor. Small dust clouds floated in gentle swirls around them. "What do you expect to find?" asked one of the researchers, a young explorer named Vey. Rinhal smiled kindly. "Maybe old human tools, maybe ancient recordings. Humans were simple explorers in those days. This place may show us how they lived." They walked slowly, admiring the peaceful emptiness. Panels on the walls displayed faded human text. Soft lights flickered in the ceiling, as if trying to wake up after centuries. The researchers were delighted. They recorded each hallway, each piece of equipment, and each quiet room with excitement. To them, this was a harmless museum, an untouched memory. But while they believed the station was silent, something else believed otherwise. Deep inside the station, far below the main corridors, small lights awakened in a hidden chamber. A sensor, old but not broken, detected movement and temperature changes. It had been built by humans long ago, designed to wake only when foreign activity was detected. For the first time in centuries, it blinked alive. Status: unregistered presence detected. Awakening protocol level 1 engaged. A message formed on the old screen in the hidden room, glowing a soft blue. Sending notification to Earth Command. Transmission in progress. The station had begun speaking again. Up on the upper deck, the Vantel researchers found the control room. It was a large, round chamber with wide windows looking out into space. Old panels surrounded the room, filled with buttons, screens, and quiet consoles. "This is beautiful," Rinhall whispered with genuine admiration. In the center of the room, covered under a thin layer of dust, lay something unexpected, a large blueprint projected inside a flickering display frame. It showed the outline of a human starship, sleek, long, and sturdy. Its shape was simple but strong, like a forgotten guardian. The title on the blueprint read, T-Series Guardian Vessel, Prototype Design. The researchers looked at each other in confusion. "Guardian?" Vey asked. "But humans stopped building large ships long ago." "My records show no such model," another researcher replied. Rinhall stepped close, wiping dust gently from the display frame. The blueprint lines glowed brighter under his touch, as if the station wanted to show them the design more clearly. "It seems humans once planned something more advanced than we believed," he said. "Though they never built it, these designs must have been abandoned." The team recorded the blueprint carefully, saving each image. They laughed softly and kindly among themselves, thinking of how simple and old this human idea was. The galaxy was full of modern ships far more advanced, they thought. This design was charming, but outdated. They did not know the truth. They did not know the blueprint was not abandoned. They did not know the station was not sleeping. And they did not know Earth was already receiving the alert. Far away, on the surface of Earth, deep inside Human Command Center, a soft chime echoed in the communication hall. Officers looked up in surprise. The symbol that blinked on the screen was one no one had seen in generations, the emblem of Observatory 12. The room grew quiet. A technician hurried to the main console, reading the message aloud. "Unregistered activity detected. Protocol 1 activated. Foreign presence confirmed." The commander, an older woman named Alara Quinn, stood slowly. Her voice was steady but curious. "After centuries, the station has awakened?" "Yes, Commander," the technician said. "It detected something. It sent us full auto report." Commander Alara stepped closer, studying the screen with narrowed eyes. The station was ancient, but its security systems had been built carefully. Humans had always been calm, but they had never been careless. "What is the source of the detection?" she asked. The technician checked again. 5 individuals. Non-human signatures. No signs of harm or damage. They appear to be simple researchers." Alara nodded. "Then there is no threat. But this is not a small matter. If the Vantel are exploring our old station, the galaxy might begin asking questions. For centuries, Earth had lived quietly, on purpose. They had grown, studied, and learned without showing the galaxy their progress. They preferred peace and privacy. They did not need attention. But now the galaxy had stepped onto their doorstep without knowing what rested behind the old metal walls. "Send a soft response packet," Alara said. "Let the station know we are aware." "Yes, Commander. Should we activate the T-Series program as well?" Alara paused. Her eyes softened with memory. The T-Series project was one of humanity's deepest secrets, something built during their quiet years, far from curious eyes, far from the galaxy's assumptions. "No," she said firmly, "not yet. But prepare the team. The world is changing." Back on the station, the Vantel researchers were finishing their exploration. Rinhall stood near the large window, watching stars drift peacefully outside. "This place is like a quiet memory of an older galaxy," he said. "Humans must have been gentle explorers. Their designs were simple, their progress calm." His team nodded in agreement. They believed their trip had been successful. They felt relaxed, thankful for the peaceful experience. None of them noticed the soft glow under the floor panels. None of them heard the quiet hum of awakening machines. None of them sensed that the station was now fully online. As they prepared to leave, a small console on the wall lit up with blue text. Observation complete. Earth Command has responded. Awakening Protocol Level 2 ready. The station was no museum. It had been waiting, and now humanity, after centuries of silence, had opened its eyes once again. The galaxy continued its usual rhythm, calm and unaware of the small signal that had traveled quietly from an old human station to Earth. Trade ships moved peacefully between bright planets. Students in distant academies studied star maps and practiced communication skills. Families traveled on vacation vessels, enjoying the safe routes built by different civilizations. Most species believed the galaxy was stable and friendly. For them, nothing unusual was happening. But far from their attention, inside the peaceful blue glow of Earth Command Center, things were beginning to shift. Commander Ilara Quinn had called a meeting with her senior team. They sat around a round table made of smooth black stone. Soft lights above created a calm, focused atmosphere. Screens on the walls displayed data from Observatory 12, glowing with renewed activity. Ilara looked at each officer, her expression thoughtful. "Our station has awakened after centuries," she said. "This is not a small event. The Vantel exploration team has entered it, and the system recognized them." Her second-in-command, Jalen Rowe, leaned forward. He was a calm man with a steady voice. "Do we think the Vantel had harmful intentions?" "No," Ilara answered, shaking her head. "The Vantel are peaceful. Their interest is knowledge, not conflict. But their presence means something else. The galaxy has started noticing us again." A quiet sigh went around the room. For generations, humans had remained silent by choice. They had not disappeared. They had simply stepped back. The galaxy had grown fast and bright, but humans chose a slower, quieter path. They learned, developed, and prepared without seeking attention. "We must decide how we respond," Ilara said. "The station systems are waking. They will continue their protocol unless we guide them." Jalen glanced at one of the glowing screens. Data scrolled slowly. Energy patterns rising, lights activating, internal machines testing themselves. "It looks like the T-Series systems are preparing too," he said. Ilara nodded gently. "They will, if the station detects continued foreign presence." The T-Series Guardian Vessel project was humanity's silent advancement. It was built not for conflict, but for protection. The design had started hundreds of years earlier, but Earth completed it during their quiet era, away from the galaxy's observing eyes. The vessel was powerful, yet peaceful, an improvement of old technology, made with new understanding. Still, Earth had not planned to reveal it yet. "Maintain Level 1 readiness," Ilara said. "We will not activate anything further unless necessary." The team agreed. They valued caution and calm choices. Humanity had learned patience over the centuries. Meanwhile, at Observatory 12, the Vantel research team continued finishing their work. They had documented each room, each device, and each peaceful artifact of human history. Their eyes were full of excitement as they returned to their ship, carrying recordings, samples, and notes. Rinhall, their leader, stopped at the main hatch and turned once more toward the quiet station. The faint lights inside gave the structure a soft, almost living look. "This place has a gentle spirit," he said warmly. "Humans must have cared for their technology with great calmness." Vey, the youngest researcher, smiled. "Yes, everything feels peaceful here." They left without noticing the subtle energy build up in the lower chambers. They did not see the rotating core testing itself. They did not sense the small machines scanning their signatures for future documentation. They simply thought they had discovered a beautiful piece of old history. Once back on their ship, the Vantel team began arranging their data for transmission. Their craft floated away slowly from the station, shining gently under the starlight. On board, Rinhal sat in the communication chair and opened a log file. "Sending our findings to the Alliance Academy," he said. "They will be delighted." His team nodded. Their voices were cheerful as they discussed which parts of the station were the most interesting. None of them sensed that the station was still watching them. None of them knew that Earth was studying their communication patterns. None of them imagined that the galaxy would soon misunderstand everything. Back on Earth, Commander Ilara watched the Vantel ship on the large central screen. It was moving calmly, with no sign of hidden intention. "They seem peaceful," she said quietly. "They are," Jalen replied. "The Vantel Academy appreciates old knowledge. They want understanding, not trouble." Ilara nodded. "Then humanity must respond with patience. We do not want fear or confusion." A young officer approached with a report. "Commander, the station has initiated soft tracking mode. It is following the Vantel ship's distance as they leave." "That is normal," Ilara said calmly. "The station is completing its protocol. Once the visitors are fully out of range, things should settle again." But things did not settle. Something unexpected happened. A small message appeared on the main monitor, translated by Earth computers from the station's ancient machine language. "Awakening Protocol Level 2, entering standby. Vessel design, T-Series Guardian. Core testing, 22%. The room grew quiet. Officers exchanged looks. The T-Series Guardian vessel was not supposed to activate yet. "Ilara," Jalen began. "The station thinks we need readiness." "We do not," Ilara replied softly. "But the station cannot read our hearts. It only reads patterns, the foreign signatures, the silence of centuries, the sudden activity. It thinks something important has begun." She sighed and closed her eyes for a moment. "Send a command to keep it at standby. Prevent full activation." "Yes, Commander." Technicians began typing commands, sending carefully coded messages to the old system. But the station, with its ancient programming, hesitated. It listened. But its awakening was not entirely under Earth's control. It had waited too long, protected too many secrets, and now its old purpose felt near. Far away in space, the Vantel ship continued moving. They sent a friendly message toward Earth, hoping to open a simple line of communication. "Greetings to the people of Earth," Rinhal spoke softly. "We are grateful to have explored your old station. We hope for peaceful contact." Earth received the message clearly. Commander Ilara smiled faintly. "They mean well." She opened a communication channel but kept the message simple. "Greetings, Vantel explorers. Earth acknowledges your peaceful intention." The message was sent. But space does strange things to sound and signal. Frequencies sometimes shift, merge, or bend. When the Vantel received the reply, their system interpreted it differently. It added a small echo and altered a tone. The message sounded firmer than intended. Vey frowned. Did they sound cautious? Rinhal listened again. Perhaps. Or perhaps it is our system making it sound that way. Signals often shift in older areas of space. They sent a second message, trying to clarify their friendly tone. But they accidentally increased the signal strength, making their voice sound sharper. Earth received the new message. The system flagged the increased power as an unusual pattern. Jalen turned to the commander. That was a strong signal. Do we take it as concern? Ilara shook her head. No, but the station might. Her words were correct. Observatory 12 detected the stronger signal. Its sensors interpreted it as potential interference. The energy core inside the station hummed. A soft vibration passed through its old metal walls. On Earth, a technician reported something unusual. Commander, the T-Series test has increased to 37%. The station may activate it automatically. Hold it, Ilara ordered. Keep everything stable. There is no threat. Her team worked calmly. No one wanted mistakes. Humanity did not want misunderstanding. But the old station, full of memories and quiet logic, did what it was designed to do. It prepared its silent guardian. Across the galaxy, everything was still peaceful, quiet, and unaware. This was the last moment before the galaxy realized humans had not been sleeping at all. This was the last quiet moment, and soon everything would change. The galaxy continued moving peacefully, unaware that a small misunderstanding was quietly growing in a corner of space. The Vantel explorers believed they were sending friendly communication to Earth. Earth believed they were simply receiving polite messages. But the old station, Observatory 12, saw mixed signals, shifts in tone, and increased power as something else. It believed change was coming. Inside the station, old machines hummed softly as systems awakened more deeply. The lights in the walls grew brighter, and the central core glowed like a slowly opening eye. A message flashed across the internal monitors. Awakening Protocol Level 2. Active. T-Series Core Readiness, 61%. In the control room on Earth, Commander Ilara Quinn stood silently as she read the progress numbers. Her mind worked calmly, but she could not ignore what she saw. 61%, she said lightly. The station is convinced something important is happening. Her second-in-command, Jalen Rowe, leaned closer to the monitor. We can still hold it. The system is old, but our commands should slow it. It must slow, Ilara replied. We are not ready for the galaxy to see everything we have built. A young technician, Mira, raised her hand softly. Commander, the Vantel are preparing to send a long-range data package to their academy. It includes the blueprint they found in the station. Ilara inhaled gently. Of course, they mean no harm. But once their academy receives it, word will spread. Jalen nodded. Civilizations will wonder why humans built a guardian vessel in their old days. They will have questions, Mira added. Many questions. Ilara knew she was right. She thought quietly for a moment, then spoke. Let us try one simple thing. Transparency. We send a calm explanation to the Vantel. No hidden messages, no technical terms, just clarity. The team agreed. A message was prepared. It read, Humans built early designs for peaceful exploration. The blueprint is old. Thank you for your respectful visit. It was gentle and calm. Earth sent it. But space, as always, changed things. The Vantel ship received the message, but their system softened the sound differently. Their translation unit added new tones to represent human expression. It made the message sound almost cautious, as if holding unspoken meaning. Rinhal read the message twice. This is polite, but why do I feel they are holding something back? He wondered. Vey looked at him. Because humans are private, maybe? They always kept their culture quiet in records. They rarely interacted. Rinhal nodded slowly. Perhaps we are overthinking. They may simply be careful with their words. Still, something in his heart felt unsure. Not fear, just curiosity mixed with confusion. On Earth, the team continued monitoring the station. They hoped their message would slow the system, but instead, new data appeared. Foreign signal recorded, ambiguity detected, increasing readiness. T-Series core, 72%. The officers exchanged serious looks. The station is misunderstanding everything, Jalen said. It is only following its logic, Ilara replied calmly. Long ago, when we built it, we wanted caution. The galaxy was full of unknowns. The station remembers that era more than it remembers peace. She stepped closer to the screen. Prepare a direct connection. I want to speak to the station myself. The technicians opened a secure channel. The lights dimmed. Static filled the air. Then a soft voice, old, clear, and calm, sounded through the speaker. Observatory 12 online. Human command recognized. Ilara spoke gently. Station 12. This is Commander Ilara Quinn. Stand down your readiness. There is no threat. The visitors were peaceful. A pause followed. Then the station replied, Signs unclear. Foreign signals inconsistent. Long-range power detected. Purpose uncertain. Ilara kept her voice soft. They are explorers. They admire us. There is no danger. Another pause. Acknowledged, but not confirmed. T-Series safety protocol continues. The channel closed itself. Ilara exhaled slowly. It does not fully trust the situation. Jalen rubbed his forehead. The station has been waiting for centuries. Its programming has aged. It expects meaning in every pattern. Before they could continue, Mira gave another update. Commander, a new transmission has arrived from the Vantel. Ilara nodded. Open it. The message appeared on the main screen. Rinhal's voice sounded warm, curious, and respectful. Humans of Earth, we thank you for your gentle responses. We sense you are cautious, but we hope to learn more. Please do not feel pressure. We only seek understanding. Earth received the message perfectly. The tone was peaceful, but the station received a slightly shifted copy. For the station, the translation came through with minor distortions. Certain sounds grew softer, others stronger. To the station, the message sounded uncertain, and so it responded according to its ancient design. A soft alarm glowed inside its core chamber. T-Series core readiness, 84%. Awaiting authorization. The station waited for Earth to approve. It would not activate without full permission, but Earth did not approve. Instead, they worked quickly to lower the numbers. On the Vantel ship, the crew felt an unexpected vibration pass through space, very small, like a quiet ripple. Rinhal looked out the window. Did you feel that? Yes, Vey replied. It was like the station moved, slightly. The others checked their data. Energy readings increased for a moment, said one, but now they are stable. Rinhal stared at the silent ring-shaped station far behind them. Its lights were brighter now, glowing clearly across its metal frame. It feels like it is awake, he whispered. Inside the station, screens turned on across different rooms. Holograms of Earth maps appeared. Old records replayed themselves. Machinery tested movement with soft whirs. The entire structure felt alive for the first time in centuries. It was ready. It simply needed permission. Back on Earth, the council met in a larger room. Representatives from different human colonies joined by hologram. Ilara explained the situation carefully. The station has awakened because of misunderstandings, she said. The Vantel are peaceful, but the station interprets ambiguity as potential warning. One representative asked, Will the T-Series activate? Not unless we approve, Ilara answered. We will not approve. We have lived quietly for centuries, another added. We do not wish to stand out. Ilara nodded. But misunderstandings travel fast. If the Academy receives the blueprint, others may ask questions. And if the station remains awake, another said gently, its signals might be noticed by distant civilizations. Everyone understood the situation. Humanity had prepared quietly. They built new knowledge, stronger systems, better science, but they never flaunted it. They wanted peace without attention. Now the galaxy might start paying attention. Ilara returned to the main command center. Keep all systems calm, she told her team. Continue talking to the station, help it understand. But even as she spoke, a new message flashed onto the screens. Unregistered frequencies detected near Station 12. Possible cross signals. Awaiting guidance. The technicians worked quickly. They checked the frequencies. Commander, these are natural cosmic signals. Space noise, nothing more. Ilara nodded. But the station thinks they are related to the Vantel. Suddenly, the Vantel also received a faint echo, a natural space distortion that sounded similar to a signal. Vae frowned. Did Earth send something? No, Rinhal said. This is a random phenomenon. But the timing is confusing. Both sides grew uncertain. Neither side wanted trouble, but the station was connecting dots that were never meant to connect. Inside the Awakening Core, a new line appeared. T-Series Guardian vessel, standby complete, awaiting approval to fully power. Earth saw the message instantly. The room fell silent. Alara spoke gently. Do not approve. Keep it frozen. Her voice was calm and steady. Humanity had no fear, but they had great caution. Jalen looked at her. Commander, whether we approve or not, the galaxy will notice the station's activity soon. Lights this bright, cores this active. Someone will see it. Alara closed her eyes for a moment. Yes, she said, the galaxy will learn that humans were not museum pieces. She opened her eyes again, determined and calm. But they will also learn we are still peaceful. Meanwhile, far across space, the Vantel ship slowly turned, preparing for a gentle return path. But when Rinhal looked out the window again, he saw something he could not explain. A thin, soft beam of blue light rose from the station, calm, quiet, and beautiful. It was not harmful. It was simply awakening. Rinhal whispered, What are you becoming? The station glowed brighter, waiting for Earth's final decision, and the galaxy, still peaceful and unaware, was about to see humans in a new light for the first time in centuries. The Hall of Echoes felt strangely warm when Captain Mira entered it again. Long beams of golden light crossed the tall glass windows, reflecting from the hundreds of floating crystals that held recorded memories from many civilizations. The chapter with the humans, once labeled Museum Exhibits Obsolete Species, was still glowing silver in the center of the room. Beneath it, the new golden seal gleamed proudly. Alive, capable, rising. Mira paused for a moment, letting her eyes adjust to the gentle brightness. She enjoyed the hall more than she expected. It was peaceful here, calm, the opposite of the confusion currently spreading across the galaxy. She took a steady breath and moved toward the viewing platform, where several council observers were already waiting. Captain Mira, said Elder Soren, nodding with a polite smile. We are ready to begin the next review. Mira gave a respectful bow. Of course, I have brought the latest recordings from Earth Command, and, she lifted a small silver cube from her bag, Admiral Harris has sent something else. He said it may help with future communication. The ambassadors exchanged curious looks. Some leaned forward. Others adjusted their energy bands with interest. Another human device? Asked Talon, a young delegate from the Crystal Worlds. Does it glow or hum? It is very quiet, Mira said. Humans call it a data seed. The silver cube had a smooth surface with faint lines carved in swirling patterns. Nothing about it looked advanced, yet the moment Mira placed it on the center table, the cube released a soft pulse of light. The floating crystals around the room vibrated gently, changing color one by one like a chain reaction. Gasps rippled through the observers. It is linking with your archives, Mira explained calmly. The data seed can translate, store, and share information through patterns instead of waves. Humans developed it for environments where normal signals do not travel well. For environments like the quiet sectors, Elder Soren murmured, eyes widening slightly. The quiet sectors, Talon repeated carefully. Where most races cannot send messages? That place? Yes, Mira said. An uncomfortable silence followed. The quiet sectors were regions of space that absorbed almost every kind of communication. No one knew why. No one explored them deeply. The Council always discouraged travel there, not out of fear, but because the area simply provided no useful information. There was no way to track ships, record energy patterns, or study long-range signals. It was like flying into a silent desert of stars. But if the data seed could function there, that would change many things. Mira understood their thoughts even before they voiced them. She waited patiently for Elder Soren to speak. "This is impressive," the Elder said softly. "But why give it to us?" Mira smiled. "Because Admiral Harris believes cooperation begins with trust. He asked me to deliver it as a gesture of friendship." Whispers filled the room again, soft, surprised, uncertain. The galaxy did not dislike humans, but it did underestimate them. Earlier, people called Earth a museum piece because humans preferred simplicity instead of constant upgrades. Their ships looked old, their tools looked small, and their technology rarely showed bright colors or complex lights. Many species believed humans were far behind. Now they were starting to realize the truth. Humans simply worked differently. They never stopped growing. They never stopped thinking. They just did it quietly. As the council members discussed the data seed, Mira stepped aside to check her wrist device. A message notification blinked. She opened it carefully. It was from Admiral Harris. Status update: signal anomaly detected in Quiet Sector Delta 9. Possible source: unknown. Please stand by for further guidance. Mira frowned. The quiet sectors never produced signals. Never. That was the defining feature of the region. She read the message twice, then closed the display and tried to calm her thoughts. Something was happening, and the timing worried her. Why now, when humans had just returned to the galaxy stage? Why near Earth's border? Why in a place where nothing should appear? A gentle voice interrupted her thoughts. "Captain Mira, are you well?" She turned to find Velen, the scholar from the floating Isles of Asterix. Velen floated a few centimeters above the floor, as her species always did, her long, shimmering robes drifting like soft mist. Mira hesitated. "I may have received a concerning update, but it is not confirmed yet." "A problem?" Velen asked. "A mystery," Mira replied honestly. "Humans prefer to understand things before calling them problems." Velen smiled. "A wise approach." Mira nodded. "Elder Soren, I request permission to return to Earth Command briefly. I believe my presence may be needed." "You may go," the Elder said immediately. "Please share information when possible. Understanding benefits all." Mira bowed. "Thank you." Before she left, Elder Soren raised a thoughtful question. "Captain, this data seed, does it allow us to send messages where even light cannot travel?" "Yes," Mira answered gently. "It does." The Elder exhaled slowly. "Then perhaps the galaxy underestimated Earth far more than we realized." Mira simply smiled. Her ship, the Aurora Trail, lifted from the council platform with a smooth, quiet hum. Though not the fastest ship in the fleet, it was known for its endurance and reliability, two qualities Mira valued. She set course for Earth Command and activated her private channel. Moments later, Admiral Harris appeared on the screen, adjusting his uniform and tapping through data streams. "Captain, I'm glad you reached out quickly." "I received your message," Mira said. "Has the signal been identified?" "Not fully," Harris replied. "But we know one thing now. It is repeating." "Repeating?" Mira asked. "Like a pattern?" "Yes, and it is rhythmic. Not random, not natural." Mira took a slow breath. "Could it be a friendly source trying to reach us?" Harris shook his head. "It is not using any familiar format, not human, not council-based, and not from any known civilization." Mira stared at the display. Unknown origin, inside a sector where communication doesn't work, and yet something is pushing through. "Exactly," Harris said. "And there's more. The signal grows stronger every hour. Mira felt a quiet pressure build in her chest, not fear, caution, awareness, like the moment before a turning point. "Admiral," she said softly, "should we treat this as a possible discovery or a possible risk?" Harris smiled faintly. "We treat it as humans always do, with curiosity first, careful preparation second." Mira nodded. "That is our way," she agreed. Halfway to Earth Command, something unexpected appeared on Mira's radar. A faint blue shimmer, just outside normal detection range. She leaned closer, adjusting the sensitivity. The shimmer grew slowly brighter, forming a thin arc, almost like writing. But writing of what? From whom? The shimmer stretched, curled, folded into shapes Mira did not recognize. It wasn't a message she could translate, but she could feel its presence, like a quiet whisper brushing the side of her ship. Her wrist device vibrated again. She read the new message. Signal now moving. Direction. Earth's outer orbit. Speed. Slow, but steady. Mira stared at the shimmering arc outside her window. The signal was not just noise. It was not just a light. It was traveling, approaching, reaching, and now it had found her. Captain Mira activated a safe motion field around her ship, then opened a wide-range recorder. The shimmer reacted instantly, its arc stretching closer, tilting like a curious being trying to look inside her window. She whispered softly, "Hello." The shimmer pulsed, not threateningly, not aggressively, just answering. It was trying to communicate. Mira switched to a calm voice channel. "This is Captain Mira of the Human Exploration Fleet. If you can receive this signal, please show a sign." The shimmer changed shape again, this time forming a spiral. It held that shape for several seconds, then returned to an arc. "Is that your name?" Mira guessed softly. "Or your greeting?" The spiral formed again, clearer, brighter. Mira smiled with amazement. "You understand." The shimmering shape pulsed once more, softer now, like a quiet nod. Then it moved away, slowly, purposefully, heading the same direction Mira was traveling, toward Earth. Mira activated her emergency report line. "Admiral Harris, this is Captain Mira," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I have made visual contact with the source of the signal." Harris's eyes widened. "You found it?" "Yes," Mira said. "And Admiral, I believe it is peaceful." The Admiral leaned back, speechless for the first time that day. Mira continued, "I think it is trying to meet us." "Then," Harris said finally, "we will welcome it." Mira nodded. The galaxy once called humans museum pieces, old minds, old tools, old dreams. But now, something unknown was coming directly toward them, not to challenge them, not to test them, but perhaps to understand them. And humanity would be ready. Not with fear, not with conflict, but with the same quiet curiosity that had always guided them through the stars. The object of shimmering light moved gently ahead of Captain Mira's ship, as though guiding her through calm space. It remained a fair distance away, never too close to disturb her navigation, yet never too far for her sensors to lose it. The movement felt careful, almost polite. Like a traveler approaching a new house and walking slowly up the path, making sure the owners were ready. Mira kept observing the shapes it formed. Sometimes it stretched into a thin ribbon, sometimes it curled into loops like soft handwriting. Its glow pulsed in quiet rhythms, and she tried to memorize each change. She had a feeling the patterns were more than simple motions. They might be language. Her wrist device chimed. Admiral Harris appeared on screen, his expression calm, yet focused. "Captain Mira, we have prepared a welcome space near Earth's outer orbit," he said. Observation teams are standing by. The Council has also requested a live connection. They want to witness the first meeting? Mira asked. They insisted, Harris replied with a small smile. The galaxy has been waiting for proof that the quiet sectors hold secrets. Now they have it. Mira nodded. I should arrive in 20 minutes. Good. And Mira? Harris's tone softened. You have handled this with great care. Whatever comes next, humanity is grateful. She smiled back. Thank you, Admiral. Humans taught me their way of thinking. Curiosity mixed with calm. It is a very steady path. Harris nodded approvingly. It has served us well. The screen faded as he ended the call. Mira focused again on the shimmering visitor. It shifted into a slow spiral, which she now recognized as its way of saying attention or ready. She responded by slightly tilting her ship, repeating the gesture she used earlier. The spiral brightened in acknowledgement. It understood her, at least a little. Far ahead, Earth came into view as a soft blue sphere, glowing faintly against the darkness. Mira never grew tired of seeing that sight. It reminded her why she served, why humans continued despite being misunderstood by many worlds. There was gentleness in them, but also deep endurance. They built slow, but they built well. They explored with quiet steps, but every step mattered. The shimmering visitor slowed gradually as they approached a small cluster of ships. The gathering was peaceful, no defensive lines, no aggressive formations, only open space and wide scanning circles to observe whatever happened next. Admiral Harris's ship floated at the center, its hull covered in calm white lights. A platform had been extended, ready for a communication event. Mira took a steady breath and opened her channel to the visitor. You are safe here, she said softly. These are humans and their friends. The shimmering object paused. For a long moment it held completely still, almost as if listening. Then it slowly drifted forward, gentle and unhurried, until it reached the outer edge of the welcome space. It stopped exactly where Mira stopped, mirroring her. Admiral Harris's voice echoed through the shared communication line. This is Admiral Harris of the Human Exploration Fleet. To the visitor, if you can receive this, we welcome you in peace and curiosity. We wish to learn who you are. The object responded by brightening from pale blue to soft gold. The light spread outward like ripples on water. The observers from the council gasped. Delegates, scientists, and ambassadors from many species leaned closer to their screens. The light is forming a pattern, someone whispered. Mira recognized the spiral again. Then a second shape formed beside it, a straight line with small curves at each end. It repeated those two shapes in a slow, steady rhythm. Spiral, line, spiral, line. It is repeating its identity, Mira said softly. I think these symbols are part of its name. Elder Soren's voice entered the channel. Can you attempt to respond in the same style? Mira hesitated, thinking. Then she activated the small translation device in her ship and projected a soft, controlled beam of white light. She shaped it into a gentle arc, a symbol she practiced earlier. She followed it with a small loop. Arc, loop. Then she repeated it. The shimmering visitor reacted immediately. Its glow brightened with warm gold, and it drifted slightly closer. Not enough to cause risk, but enough to show connection. It answered Mira by showing her symbols again, this time slower as though teaching her the pace. Mira repeated her own symbols again. For several minutes, no one spoke. No one breathed loudly. It was quiet, calm, respectful. It felt like the first moments of true understanding. Then something extraordinary happened. The shimmering object shifted its glow toward a soft silver tone. A third shape formed. More complex, a wide oval, broken gently at the top. It was the longest pattern Mira had seen so far. "What does that mean?" someone asked. Mira watched carefully. The shape felt purposeful, almost like a question. She leaned forward. "It is inviting something." Admiral Harris spoke in a low voice. "Inviting what?" Mira swallowed softly. "Maybe a deeper exchange." The oval repeated, then faded, leaving the visitor dimmer than before, as if waiting. Mira took a slow breath and decided to try something simple. She shaped her next two symbols to express openness, two arcs positioned apart, forming a space in the middle. Then she created a small circle between them. The visitor brightened immediately. Elder Storym whispered, "Did it understand?" The oval shape returned again, only this time it stretched gently toward Mira's ship, like a bridge or a doorway. Mira's heart beat faster, but her mind stayed calm. She understood now. The new shape wasn't a question. It was a request. "It wants to share information," Mira said, almost breathless. "Not words. Something else. Maybe memories? Maybe history? Something deeper." Admiral Harris hesitated. "Is that safe for us?" "It is not forcing anything," Mira replied. "It is politely asking." Harris thought for several seconds. Then he exhaled slowly. "Captain Mira, proceed. Carefully." Mira activated her ship's open data port, which allowed controlled information exchange. A small beam of white light extended from her hull. The visitor responded by extending a thin thread of gold light. The two beams touched gently, not with a spark, not with a flash, just a soft joining. Mira waited. For a moment, nothing happened. Then her screens filled with soft lines, curves, spirals, patterns, not images, not sound, patterns. It was showing ideas. She watched them closely. Patterns of calm oceans, patterns of drifting stars, patterns of soft waves that moved like breathing, patterns of long journeys taken in complete quiet. Elder Storym whispered, "These are beautiful." Mira nodded, hardly able to speak. The patterns continued. A journey into the quiet sectors, a search for gentle signals, a desire for connection without conflict, a long, patient travel across silent space. Then one final pattern appeared. A spiral touching an arc. The meaning was clear. "We found you." Mira felt warmth spread across her chest, not heat, emotion, gentle understanding, quiet recognition. She shaped a response using her device. An arc touching a spiral. "We welcome you." The visitor glowed brighter than ever before, gold mixing with soft blue, swirling slowly like a peaceful dance. It drifted back slightly, giving space, then oriented itself toward Earth. Harris spoke softly. "Captain Mira, what does this mean?" Mira's voice grew gentle. "It means they want to learn more, and maybe share more." "And humanity?" Harris asked. Mira smiled. "Humanity will listen." The Council released an announcement across the galaxy. It spoke of a new discovery, not of danger, but of peaceful connection. Many species who once doubted Earth now looked with new respect. They understood that humanity, once called museum pieces, had shown again that they were far more adaptable, far more thoughtful, and far more open-hearted than anyone realized. Earth's simple technology, slow designs, and quiet approach had become a strength, because in the silent sectors of the galaxy, it was humanity who heard the first whisper, and humanity who welcomed it. That evening, as Mira stood by her viewing window, she watched the shimmering visitor orbit gently beside Earth. Its soft golden glow reflected across the sky. She whispered quietly, "You crossed a silent galaxy to meet us. That must have taken patience." The visitor formed a small spiral. She answered with a small arc. Two simple shapes, two different origins, one shared understanding. The beginning of a peaceful chapter. A chapter written not with fear, but with curiosity. Not with power, but with gentle connection. And so the galaxy watched as a new friendship was born. Humanity was no longer a museum piece. They were explorers, listeners, bridge builders, and the unknown had come to greet them first.